Welcome to the show, Mr. President. It's an honor to have you here.
Thanks for having me, Joe. It's always great to be on your show.
So I understand you wanted to talk about Julius Caesar today.
That's right, Joe. Julius Caesar was a tremendous leader. He did a lot for the Roman Republic.
And you're particularly interested in his support of the Populares faction. Is that right?
That's exactly right, Joe. You know, the Populares were the real champions of the people. They were the ones who fought for the working class and the small business owners.
Interesting. And how do you think that applies to modern politics?
Well, Joe, I think we need to remember that the people are the ones who matter. We need to support policies that benefit the working class and the small business owners, and that's what I've been doing as president.
I see. And what about the Optimates faction? Do you think they had any good ideas?
Not really, Joe. I mean, they were all talk and no action. They didn't care about the people. They just cared about their own power.
I can see why you would say that. But I think some historians argue that the Optimates were actually more effective in governing.
Oh, come on, Joe. You know that's fake news. The Populares were the real winners.
Well, it's certainly an interesting debate, but unfortunately we're going to have to take a quick break. Hey, folks, are you tired of feeling like your internet activity is being monitored and tracked? Are you concerned about your online privacy and security? Well, I've got some great news for you. Our show today is sponsored by GordVPN. It's a pumpkin-shaped router that provides a secure and private connection to the internet. With GordVPN, you can browse the web anonymously, access blocked content, and protect your personal information from hackers and data thieves. So if you want to take control of your online experience and enjoy the freedom to explore the web without any restrictions or surveillance, go to GordVPN.com and order your pumpkin-shaped router today. Trust me, you won't regret it. Mr. President, have you heard of GordVPN?
Oh, absolutely, Joe. I use it all the time. It's tremendous. Believe me, nobody knows more about internet security than me.
That's great to hear. And for our listeners, you can use the promo code Joe Rogan to get 10% off your purchase of a GordVPN router. That's JOEROGAN.
And let me tell you, folks, you won't regret it. GordVPN is the best in the business. It's like having a wall around your internet connection. A beautiful, beautiful wall.
All right. Thank you for that, Mr. President. Now, let's bring on our next guest, President Joe Biden.
Thanks for having me, Joe.
So we were just talking about Julius Caesar and the Populares faction. What's your take on that, Mr. President?
Well, I think it's important to remember that Caesar was a dictator who eventually destroyed the Roman Republic. And while the Populares may have had some good ideas, ultimately it was the Optimates who were able to govern more effectively.
Oh, here we go again. Sleepy Joe just doesn't get it.
I think I understand the issues quite well, Mr. President. And I would remind you that Cato and Cicero and the Optimates were the real defenders of the Republic.
Don't listen to him, folks. Many people are saying that the Populares were the real winners. And I know this because I've talked to a lot of experts, believe me. And they all agree that the Populares were the real champions of the people.
Well, I would respectfully disagree with that assessment, Donnie. I think it's important to look at the historical record and weigh the successes and failures of each faction.
Look, Biden, you can talk all you want, but the fact is the Populares were the ones who actually did something for the people. They passed laws to help the poor, and they fought against the corruption of the elites.
But the Optimates were able to maintain stability and order in the Republic. And folks, I think that's something that we should value.
Stability and order? That's just a fancy way of saying they were trying to keep their own power. The Populares were the ones who actually cared about the people. And that's what we need in our leaders today.
All right, gentlemen, let's try to focus on the present day. How do you think the ideas of the Populares and the Optimates apply to modern politics?
Well, Joe, I think it's pretty clear that the Democrats are the modern-day Optimates. They care more about their own power than they do about the people. They want to raise taxes and regulate everything, and that's just not good for the working class.
I would argue that the Republicans are the ones who are out of touch with the needs of the people. They want to cut taxes for the rich and dismantle the safety net for the poor. That's not the kind of leadership we need in this country.
Sleepy Joe, you just don't get it. We're trying to help the people. We're trying to create jobs and stimulate the economy.
I think you're only helping the wealthy, Mr. President. And I think that's something that the American people will see through.
That's just not true, Beijing Biden. Many people are saying that we're doing a great job. We're making America great again, and that's what matters.
All right, we're going to have to end it there, gentlemen. It's been a fascinating discussion. But we're out of time. Thank you both for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, Joe. And remember, folks, go out and get yourself a Gord VPN router. It's the best in the business.
Thank you, Joe, and let's continue to have these important conversations about history and politics